Today, I want to talk about the illusion of having things together and the illusion of plans for your life. I think as a part of our human nature, we like to have structure and we like to have plans for our lives and we like to make plans, and it's kind of irritating and it's kind of daunting when those plans don't work out. I think we kind of know that things change and things aren't always going to work out as we want them to or as we envision them to, but I think it's kind of funny that we also just get irritated when that comes to light and that comes true, that these plans that we originally had and this outcome that turned out to be true isn't what we originally wanted. It's really hard to accept things for what they are when you don't want them. And I'll admit, it's really hard for me to accept things, and lately it's been hard for me to kind of let things go. I think there's so much power and so much growth in acceptance and letting things go. And I think you kind of have to find a way to step back from your original plans and the mess that your mind is making. I think I've said this before, but our minds love to protect us. And the way that it protects us is by creating plans and creating schedules and envisioning outcomes that sometimes aren't realistic to the situation, or trying to convince ourselves that it is realistic, but you never know what's going to happen, and you never know how things are going to turn out. You never know how good things are going to get. You never know how bad things are going to get. And you never know how things are going to stay the same and what's going to change and what's going to differ from what you thought. But that's also really beautiful. I feel like there's so much beauty in not knowing what life has in store for you. And there's so much beauty in living in the unknown. I feel like we want to know things and our mind wants us to know things, but we don't need to. We don't really need to know what's happening. I mean, what would be the point of living, and what would be the point in all that if you knew what your life was going to look like in 50 years or in 30 years or even tomorrow? Would you even enjoy it as much? I don't think, if I knew what my life was going to look like next year, I just don't think I would be enjoying it. This moment is beautiful, and the next moment is going to be beautiful, and tomorrow will be beautiful in its way, and next week, and next month, and next year is going to be so beautiful, and I don't even know what's going to happen. As humans, we have this illusion of knowing. We want to know what's going to happen, and we have this illusion for ourselves, and we have this illusion for what we want to look like and who we want to be around and what we want to be doing. Throughout my life, I've planned so much. I've planned every situation, every year, every scenario. I've kind of just had a vision for what I wanted my life to look like or what I wanted to be doing, but it's never worked out in that original way I planned. And something's always changed, even if it was something small, if it was something big. Maybe my mind was changed for something, or something came just randomly, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I want to be doing. Or I don't know, someone came into my life, something came into my life, and it just changed, but it changed for the better. And looking back on the plans that I had for myself, I'm so glad they didn't happen, because I wouldn't want to be living that. I wouldn't want to be living in the life that my brain and my consciousness and my structured mind made up for me. I don't want to be living in an illusion, and I just want to be living in the now and living in what's meant for me. But I think it's really hard to accept that, and acceptance is so difficult, and I struggle with this all the time, acceptance and letting things go. If you kind of learn how to accept things for what they are and not resisting them and not fighting back. If you learn to accept people for who they are, accept situations for who they are, accept yourself for who you are, then you start to realize that everything actually is okay, and you don't need to have a plan anymore, and you don't need to feel the need to know things. I think social media contributes so much to the illusion of our lives. Those of us who have grown up with social media and not really like knowing anything else, like kind of growing up in that world and watching people's lives through screens kind of leaves us with this sense of comparison and a weird sense of guilt. A weird sense of, oh, I'm comparing myself to them. I wish I had that outfit, or I wish I had that house, or I wish I had that car, I wish I had that life, I wish I went to that thing, I wish I looked like them, I wish I acted like them, I wish I had their followers, I wish I had their friends, I wish I was like this, and I wish it was like whatever you fill in the blank for that, but that's not the way to live. It's not reality at all. Social media is not reality, and it's an illusion, and so is our own plans for our lives is an illusion. And the only thing that's real is the moment you're living right now. The moment you're currently watching this is the only thing that's real. You feel like inside right now, what's around you, what you can see, what you can hear, what you can sense, just the world around you right now, in this moment, in this second, is the only thing that's real and the only thing that's going to be real. No matter what we envision, and no matter what kind of ideas we make up for our lives, they're never going to be real until we live that moment. The plan I have for myself in a year is not real, and it's not going to be that plan. But it could be a version of that plan that's way better than I could have ever imagined. I think it's really scary that we want to live in the future and we want to kind of rush to that moment and not enjoy what's presently around us. And there's sometimes points in my life where I don't regret it because I've learned kind of like not to do this anymore, but there's points in my life where I wish I wasn't so scared about the future. And I wish I wasn't so intimidated by it. And I wish I didn't make so many big plans or illusions, because it was never going to be that. And it was never going to be exactly how I planned it, because the me that made those plans back then is so different from the me now, and the different than the me talking to you right now. We go through so many phases of ourselves and of our lives, and we learn new things. We learn new ways to cope with things and new ways how to respond to the world and the environment around us. And that's why our plans change. You know, we learn like, maybe this is something that we don't want. Maybe we want to be doing something else. Even though it's scary, it's okay to change. And it's okay to be different than the people that you see online. And it's okay to be yourself and love yourself for who you are and love what you're doing. Even in tough moments, so much hope is to come, and so much good is to come, and so much love is to come. Something that I've struggled with is the difference between having hope and having an illusion or having a mind-made mess for the future. And I think you can have hope for the future if you live in the moment, and you can have hope for the future and what you want to do and have dreams and have ambitions while you're currently enjoying where you're at. You're never going to get the most out of life, and you're never going to feel so present if you don't enjoy where you're at currently. If you look at yourself in the mirror, and if you look at the world around you and the people around you, and your life right now, and you can find something that gives you joy and something that just keeps you present in this moment, no matter how it feels, no matter what it is. Just something that reminds you of who you are currently. Then that opens just so many doors for you. Life gets so much easier when you can stay present and when you can stay in the now and not worry. For years, I've loved this quote that goes, "Now is now, are you going to be here or not?" And the past couple years, before kind of just being connected to myself, I like the idea of that. I like the idea of that quote, but I didn't really understand the meaning of it. It's a simple meaning, but I just never grasped that. I always liked the idea of staying present, and I like the idea of being in the present moment, but I never understood how to get there. And I've realized that getting there, and the key to staying present, is just being connected to yourself and your body in the moment. The key to staying in the moment and staying in the now is being connected to the now. Have hope and trust that everything is going to work out. But the only way to do that is to remain present and to remain in the now. A way that keeps me connected and keeps me living in the moment is by listening to music. And this leads us to Wellness with Wallows. Wellness with Wallows is my segment dedicated to my love for music and artists that I think really have a special power in keeping us grounded and keeping us present and using their art to connect with people and bring people together. So the song I would like to talk about today is actually one of my favorite songs in the entire world by one of my favorite artists in the entire world, and that is Everything Hallelujah by Justin Bieber. This song is off Justin's most recent album called Swag that came out in 2025, and it's off Swag 2, the deluxe version of it. This album alone is beautiful, but this song specifically is my favorite song off of the album because it kind of emphasizes and encapsulates the meaning of what it is to be in the now and being present and staying focused in the moment that you're currently in and just embodying the moment that you're in. This is the funny thing. I love music, but I'm not good at all the musical terms. So forgive me if you're an artist listening to this and you say and I'm saying the wrong things, but I hope you get the gist. But this song is so beautiful because it is so simple. It's just like a guitar and a piano, I think. Just in naming things that are so simple and, dare I say, forgettable as humans sometimes. The first time I heard this song, I was absolutely just blown away because it's so easy for us to forget about the things that are so simple but so important and beautiful in the world. And we get so caught up in our day-to-day lives that we forget the joy of being alive and forget just the rarity of being alive. But this song is just so beautiful because it calls that out and it just speaks on the joy of being alive and being connected to who you are and connected to the world around you and just being present. The things that sometimes are seemingly so insignificant and so unimportant in our day-to-day lives are actually the most important things because they're the things that keep us present in the moment and keep us grounded. In the song, Justin names things that are so simple, like taking a walk, breathing the air, laying on the floor. These things that are so simple, but gives him so much meaning because he doesn't need to worry about what tomorrow is going to look like or even what the next hour is going to look like because he's so grateful to be in this moment and to be present in this moment and living in the now. just being so aware of yourself and so aware of what you're doing is just so beautiful and something that really is the key to living. If we can find the beauty in the monotony and the ordinary and the basic things in our day-to-day lives, then it leaves no room for illusion and no room for our mind to make up plans for us and make decisions for us and plan out how we will respond to people, how we will proceed with decisions or proceed with actions or just respond to something that is so far out in the future. If we just pay attention to the little things in the world around us, then that illusion starts to fade and that wall starts to fall. You start to enjoy everything around you. Then you start to enjoy the current moment, and then you enjoy the next moment. And then eventually, when that moment you were so worried about comes, you enjoy that. And you realize that you didn't need to spend all that time worrying because everything you need and everything that is meant for you is happening for you right now in this current moment. And you don't need to do anything to change it. And you don't need to do anything to reverse it or to alter it. You just need to be present. And you need to be thankful for the little things and for the people who are in your lives now. A line that really sticks out to me in this song is, we find love in these moments we don't even have to try. Once you start to be present and once you start to find the appreciation in the mundane and the joy in the mundane, you realize that you don't have to try. Once you really let go and are just present and connected to the now and the world around you now, then you don't have to try to find things that'll make you happy. You just live happy and you just live full of appreciation and happiness and joy. There is so much joy to be found in every single moment. And it just depends on how you look at it and depends on how you live and how you respond to the moment around you. And just everything, hallelujah. Hallelujah for beautiful weather. Hallelujah for shelter, and hallelujah for food to eat and clothes to wear, and hallelujah for my family and my friends and people around me. Hallelujah for a job. Hallelujah for fresh air to breathe. Hallelujah for a body to live in. Hallelujah for the future, for the now, for the next second, for the next minute. Just hallelujah for everything and being who you are and where you are and what you are. So what I ask from you today is to stay in the present and stay in this current moment. Don't listen to the fear that your mind is creating for you. Just pay attention to who you are in this moment and in the now. And just ground yourself and find the beauty in the little things today. And I promise you everything is going to work out and everything is going to be okay. You'll be okay. And I'm here for you.